write some things down because I just found out this information this morning that you're going to go against the previously approved elevator that you guys all voted in. I see your mission statement, and you guys all talked about how it's for the children. I don't see how a chairlift would be for the children. You want to talk about humiliation, putting a child on a chairlift, that's not for the child, that's for your budget. And as far as you putting in bids, I don't know where these bids were. They weren't put on any public sites. They were only put in the Asbury Park Press. So I can guarantee to get a lower bid. You were given over $500,000. I think you can make that work to put an elevator in a public 2-story building. I think what you're representing is discrimination. All of you that voted this to not be an elevator and to be a chairlift, you're putting these disabled community to the side as if it's riffraff, if it's like, let's just put a bandaid on this. These lifts that you're speaking of and want to put in, are also on the borderline of becoming illegal. So you're also going to be facing a lot of lawsuits because pretty soon these lifts are not going to be compliant. As well, someone that operates this lift has to be trained. And I don't know what you're gonna do. You're gonna train every employee how to work the key. I'm not sure how you figure, but they have to go through a training process as well. People get hurt on these lifts. It's a safety issue. This is not for the children. And it's not about being disabled. I don't know if you're aware, but disabled does not mean wheelchair, okay? We need an elevator. That's what we need, not a Band-Aid, not a chairlift. That's it. I'd also like to know where the remaining $500,000 is going to, because I plan on getting a lawyer to make sure you're following right about the state grant.
Just getting home, and thank you, James Ward, for filming that. What I did say, you could hear a pin drop. The super asked if anybody had anything to say, and it was 30 seconds of silence. And then he added, the superintendent, Angelosi, added that I'd just like to say it wasn't a state grant. So I was wrong there. It's a federal grant. It's the same thing. That was what his response was. And then I did say I have to leave because I have a babysitter, and I did sit through an hour meeting and listen to them all. And I did ask him, I have one request, and that is that he rides the the chairlift first, and that we all stare at him, and that he go home tonight and ask his children if they would want to ride that lift. I left. To then be followed by him saying that they're naming one or two other schools that had a chairlift. However, he's wrong. So I don't know if he lied or if he's just unaware or uneducated on the schools that he mentioned, because one of the schools he mentioned has 4 stairs in it and they have an elevator. So he's wrong. The BOE looked stunned. I'm not sure he's been filling them in on everything that I have been, arguing with him about over the last couple of years. They seemed to be shocked, a couple of them with their heads down and shaking their heads. It's not for the children. This is a Band-Aid, and it's going to have to be replaced once it goes in. They're dangerous.